Hello. We're going to continue with really our series around using the nuggets of unconventional wisdom for a joyful life. And today I'm going to skip a few of uh, the nuggets, and I want to go straight to principle number 6. And today, really, just to talk around this principle. The answers to all questions lie within. It's a very provocative statement, like all of these are. And there's no one way to approach this particular topic. It's that broad. So I'm going to come with, as you know, my sort of flavor, and hopefully it will encourage maybe a whole range of different perspectives. And so as is wont, there's a quote by Albert Einstein that says, "The significant problems of today cannot be solved at the same level of thinking that created them." And so, what is our take around this principle that the answers to all questions lie within? So, I'm going to take it from this perspective, just for the sake of starting the conversation. How often do we look for answers from another person as the only option, be it a trusted friend or a colleague or a well renowned expert or guru, or what appears to be an extremely successful person and thinking they would know the answer to our particular problem or challenge? And the reason for this is that I guess we unconsciously feel inadequate and not good enough. We at our wits' end, and therefore the answers must come from without us, externally. We might even enter into any relationship thinking we have the answers for the other person and want to rescue them out of their situation. So, really, there's two takes to this, and um, I'm only going to address one of these. But what is it that we want to swoop in and rescue that person because we think we know the answer, we think we can see exactly what is happening to them, and but this idea would therefore put the power of the relationship in the wrong hands, namely our own, and we deprive the person for owning the solution to the problem. And to own it, the context here is to find it, discover it all on your own. So here's a belief challenge that I want to offer, because it takes a bit of belief, because I don't know how you're wired if you automatically would think that the world offers up so many solutions. The Google universe offers up so much information. Why not just seek its advice for what you need to do next? But here's the belief challenge. In order for you to activate this principle, is the wisdom of the ages is really accessible to everyone. And it doesn't matter whether you finished school, went on and succeeded in obtaining some tertiary qualification, whether a bachelor's or master's or doctorate degree, or never even finished school. The wisdom of the ages is accessible to everyone, right? And so the context that I'm now building towards is the one in which we want to do something and we don't know what exactly to do. And so we're looking elsewhere for the answers. And so coming back to the statement that if wisdom of the ages is accessible to everyone, we need to access this information. And how does one actually access this information? That's why I'm calling this the belief challenge. You need to believe in the principle that you can access this information that will help you cultivate the certainty that it's only a matter of time, wording, or energy until the answer is revealed for any question or challenge by yourself or by ourselves, because each person is really an expert on their own life. Now, that's the interesting thing. Is that true or is that false? I'm going to go with the true version for now and just build my hypothesis here. So, if each person is an expert on their own life, each person, therefore, has the power to change, take action, and even heal from within. So, linking it then to the answers to all questions lie within, when we're not talking about what is the meaning of life kind of a question in what I'm presenting this afternoon. It could be, but generally speaking, to live a life that has purpose, to live a life that brings you joy, right? It's that journey that we are on is therefore uh, making a contribution to the world in some way. So therefore, each person has the power to change, take action, and even heal from within, which is that even heal from within. Some of you are experts in this area, so I want to see what that will elicit. But the principle activated requires, here's the difference. When we seek, because we don't feel good enough, questions to answers from other people around us, it's unconscious. We trying to feed that feeling of I'm not good enough. But we're not. We are now talking about, if you're going to be fully empowered, it is understanding that you make conscious decisions, that you have the power to make conscious decisions, and that you can learn about and investigate the best options regarding what to do next, what action to take, what route or path to follow. If you didn't have direction before, now you have, right? So when you introduce consciousness and not a feeling and not doing things from a victim point of view where you want to be rescued out of your situation and therefore you need to talk to people, is you start thinking about talking to people as an option, expanding your range of options that increases the power of choice. And so, here's one of the tools that I want to offer as a framework. You can call it many different things. I'm just going to dress it down. And in terms of these kinds of questions, in order to really harness this principle, is if you have to sit in a moment of quiet reflection, and let's approach it from this place of addressing an issue that you have in your life, or addressing an issue in your career or in your business. First question is, do you understand the issue? Can you explain this issue clearly to yourself and to others around you? Do you know the difference between symptoms of the issue or the root cause of the issue? And here we say, in your moment of self reflection, is ensure that you drill deep enough to uncover what lies at the root of an issue. But just understanding what lies at the root of the issue is not good enough. Is now to further harness the principle that all answers to questions lie within, is how tired or fed up are we of living with the issue? Or are we going to accept the issue, embrace it, and coexist with it? Got to answer that question and be brutally honest. I mean, if it's something that is minimal and it's okay, it doesn't hamper you, doesn't limit you in any way, why change it? But if you are really tired of living with this particular issue, and the answer is yes, I want to do something different, or I want something different, then it's the opportunity for you to clearly describe what the alternative looks like, or sounds like, or even feel like. You can either draw it, or taste it, or hear it in a certain way, or or know what it is you want to experience in terms of your feelings, emotions. To take this matter further is still believing that you will find the answer to the question of changing your issue is these are just two more questions to ask. What are the current limitations to achieving this alternative space that I want to move into? Secondly, what would serve you as fuel to change into something different? So it's always a question of what stands in your way that you need to overcome and that you believe can be overcome. Then the things that you possess, those things that you have that will help you change into this alternative that you can either see, hear, or feel. And once you know all those things broken down into specifics, the question is not this big elephant hole. It's now broken into components that you feel you can do something about. And then that means, in order for you to increase your range of options of addressing them, you then can do more research um, towards finding the solution and literally begin to take control over moving from a place of that you find yourself in, let's call it dissatisfaction, into moving into a more desired life. But this is conscious. This is not wishful thinking. It's not fantasizing, right? So I want to speak directly to you and say, whatever the situation is that you find yourself, the answer lies within you. And today is the day, or this is the hour for you to realize that you can take action from answering or finding the answer to the question that you are chewing on. All right, so that's my offering for this afternoon. Let's hear if there are any comments, questions, or challenges to this particular principle.
I'm gonna jump right in. So because yeah, it's just kind of I there's a situation in my life actually kind of related, and I'm okay to kind of share it. My mom is suffering from major depression
Mm,
after my dad passed on. My siblings and I have had a history of not a good relationship with her, just because of the kind of authoritarian parenting she did with us. However, she is absolutely responsible for all of our success. We are overachievers, all of us. But it did come at a cost. So, with my
mhm,
dad was the nurturing person, and my dad passed on. And we all knew we're going to have a situation where we are going to have to come to terms with the anger and the maybe resentment that we had towards the towards her, because my dad is no longer around to be the buffer and to be the mediator. And so I think that what kind of happened is when you asked about the obstacles in the way. So firstly, in social work, and in the particularly in social work, we absolutely, one of the major principles is that everyone has the ability to heal themselves. We are the experts. So I firmly believe that. And so I firmly believe this with my mother. So I think the challenge that I'm finding with that at the moment is that um, because there are additional emotions involved, it's like that. I read this thing that says, can I sit with the uncomfortableness without trying to fix it or change it? And even though that's my profession, I find it very difficult. I'm completely triggered by the situation, and it's a real challenge for me to just allow and to sit with my mother's depression and support her in the best way possible that God expects me to be. Some of the other challenges to this are cultural expectations and family expectations. So um, I I guess I do believe in that, that ability that my mom has, the ability to heal herself, and that I don't need to go in and fix it for her. This actually does need to come by herself. But what I'm really finding a challenge at the moment are my expectations that others have of me as a Christian adult, you know, daughter.
Hmm.
Um, and in our community, people and the family, feel that, how can you guys just sit and watch her? But we are all very matured and kind of realizing we are doing the best. But I think at the heart of it, I feel a lot of pressure from the family, like my aunts. It's like, in our community, you look after your elderly. We are not like the pale nation who put their people in care homes, etc. So it's been difficult to manage that, but as you were talking, I recognized my issues. The challenge for me is around looking within, that I can be okay with it. Um, that I will get the answer, as you said, inside. And I think that answer is around my need to please people. They must like me. So at the moment, they don't like me because of how I'm responding. And yeah, and I also think it's a little bit about, so maybe they feel or I feel they think I'm a bad Christian, because I'm not, and it's been thrown at me directly from my mom about, we're supposed to take care of the elderly. That's what God wants. So I think that those are my challenges. But thank you for just helping me uncomplicate some of the things that I'm just kind of been thinking about. So yeah. So I think for me, maybe in general, I think maybe people's expectations of one, and maybe admitting that we sometimes people please, which contradicts our own values at times. Yeah.
Wow, that is, Shanaz. Thank you for sharing that. Sure, it takes real courage and strength and vulnerability at the same time to share in that manner. So it's really interesting, especially when it comes to a loved one, and also, as you say, having the expectations of other people that you care about around you. Very difficult not to respond to the seduction of pleasing others, because it makes our lives, we think, more joyful. Um, but yeah, so when we think about what I ended up with, that little framework, um, is when we are ready to do something and we go through all of those things. And I think that at the core lies, I want to change something. And um, I suppose being able to articulate what the issue is, maybe in a completely creative way, is to say, or is to ask, is the issue at hand? And I think you've identified it. You kind of own your own issue in a way that says, oh, I'm looking for answers, trying to meet expectations, feeling the pressure, and some of it, and I'm adding this, and some of it takes away the joy of just being um, within the circle that you're in. So, um, number one is that point where you say, well, actually, um, the answer is going to come when it's going to come. And that requires patience. I didn't talk about it, but I think in the way you've said it now, patience, the answer will come. But what answer do you need? Have you been able to ask the right question? If we take this a little further, what is the question here? Is, um, So concerning your mom and where she finds herself, what is the question? What is she dealing with? What is she accepting or not accepting? What is she willing to change? Does she want to change anything? If she does not want to change anything, the adage goes, you can take the horse to the water, but you can't force it to drink. No matter what you do, it can die of thirst while standing at the edge of the dam or river or whatever it is. And yourself, if you know that the issue is not actually wanting to lead your mom out of the place where she is and doing something really creative, is, I suppose, building on it is, find your place of peace in the situation. You spoke about being a Christian, what we do for one another, hoping, praying, believing for the other person. But I think something that I want to add into there is what exactly are we believing for? And I guess what I want to add in the mix is praying for somebody to take control of their own lives, reaching that point. Now, we can do all kinds of things, encourage each other to do so. But if there isn't that level of dissatisfaction with current scenario for myself, and deciding, you come to that point where enough is enough. So in this example, there is you wanting to serve your mom in some way, but you, the other actor in the story, where you realizing that you can rest and not respond to the pressure in the way you have been. But the question is, how constructively do you respond to this pressure around you while not giving yourself or sacrificing who you are, compromising your own values in doing so, asking that particular question and letting the answer come to you. And so there is what you want to do for others, but realizing that you're not there to rescue, and knowing that, hang on, I have been, in a way, when we try to live up to expectations, we don't even realize there's that compromise where we take our eyes off our own prize of the types of things that we need to achieve, etc. So it's really an integration of and I can sum it up maybe in this way, in the way I'm thinking about it right now, is how can my purpose collide with someone else's purpose, and not to destroy but to build. As long as that person also wants to live a life geared towards conscious fulfillment of purpose. And sure, that is my best response, but so intriguing, and no real definitive um, 5 rules that you need to follow recipe. It is growing the consciousness, the awareness, feeling empowered in any situation, and then understanding that you have options. There are different ways that you can think about in achieving a desired outcome. So, Shanaz, thank you for bringing up such a practical example. And I mean, the people who will listen to this will trigger different things in different people. I'm triggered also in the same way, thinking about, I started out this conversation saying, and my ears need to hear this. There are a solution that comes from the answer to the questions that lie within you and me. So, thank you, everyone. Our time is up. I see I went a little over time this afternoon. Thank you for joining. I don't know if there's any last comments, perhaps, as we think. And I think what we are doing is just food for reflection, food for thought, and coming up with ways and means that we reach that place of awakening, that light bulb moment that suddenly comes just because we waited for it. You believe it will come, it definitely will arrive. and you'll hear the ping in your inbox. Thank you, everyone. Um, Thank you for being and just supporting this room and this event as you faithfully do every week. So yeah, enjoy the rest of the week while knowing doesn't matter what the challenges are, you have the answer. So goodbye, Paul. Goodbye, Shanaz, and goodbye, Renee. She's already left. Bye, everyone.